Hi there, it's Karen here from Turquoise Treasures. Welcome back to my channel and to week 45 of Roxy's Weekly Challenge. We're getting through the weeks, not many more to go. And this week she was making simple fun stamped tags. So she was taking coffee dye tags, journal cards, journal cards, index cards, variety of things. Well, she tea dyes them. I tend to coffee dye mine. And stamping on them and making them look pretty. And so I thought, well, that sounds easy enough. The only thing is I didn't actually have any coffee dyed ephemera pieces, any index cards or anything like that. When I'm doing my mass coffee dyeing, I basically just do paper. I don't generally coffee dye smaller things. I don't know why, I just haven't done that really. So I quickly made myself up a little spray bottle of coffee a couple of days ago and sat spraying index cards. Well, these are the index cards I use. They're just a pack of cards I got from a supermarket, but they're really, really thin. I mean, they're barely thicker than the copy paper that we use. So, and also they're lined on both sides, and I wanted a plain side and a lined side if you want for writing on. So what I did, I thought, well, they've got to be thicker and they need to be plain on one side. So I just took one of my coffee dyed sheets and I backed them all. So I've sprayed the coffee on one side, on the one lined side, and then I backed them on the other side with some coffee dyed paper, so that I've got something to stamp on. And that gives them a little bit more thickness, makes them a little bit sturdier. So I think that works sort of from two different perspectives, in that I've now got cards I can use for this project. I also bought myself, which is the first time I've done that ever really, is bought some ready-made tags from the works when I went shopping. I think it was when I went on holiday in September. Came back with a pack of tags, and they were just a plain cream tag. So they're quite nice as they are. Well, they're sort of just off-white really, rather than cream. So that's how they come. And I thought I could just use those, but I thought actually I quite like the look that when Rachel was doing them, I liked the look of the stamping on the coffee dye. So I sprayed a whole load of those as well. So I've got two sizes. I've got these ones, and then I've got the smaller ones. I'm not going to do huge numbers because I don't need loads. I know Rachel's probably going to she's made lots on camera and she'll probably make more off camera. I'm going to try and limit myself to 2 of each size of the tags, although I may make a few more of these because these would be quite handy just for putting on Christmas presents. That sort of size is ideal. And I've got 4 of these, and I think they'll be fine. So let's get started. I've got a whole collection of stamps. I didn't realise just how many I've collected over the years, and I've not really ever used them very much. So this is a great opportunity to use stamps on Christmas things that I hadn't really used. So I had this set of 3 by a company called Stamps Away, and they're quite nice big ones, so they can go on the journal cards. This one's called Build a Snowman, this one's Robin on a Style, and this one's Winter Deer. So I thought I might start with one of those, see how that comes out. I've also bought a few stamps very, very recently when I went to Hobbycraft, so I've got a few different ones to work with. Let's just start with this journal card and this stamp, because that'll be the perfect size. And I think I'm going to use a blue because it's a winter scene and I thought it might look quite nice. Oops. So let's give this a go and just start off. I think these stamps, I think I made Christmas cards with these stamps one year. I haven't really made Christmas cards for quite a long time. I don't tend to do it very much these days. But there were a couple of years when I made loads. And these were the stamps I used. I probably haven't used them since. And they are nice stamps. Let's just make sure I've got enough ink all over it. And I've just got to wipe off some of this. See, there's a little bit on the edge here. Don't really want that. Right, let's give this a go. Got my giant Ranger stamp block. Make sure I press it down all over. This is the hardest part of stamping for me. Pressing it, especially with these big stamps, you just don't want to miss a bit and have it all patchy. And that's usually what happens with me, which is probably why I don't do an awful lot of stamping. Unless it's a nice small one that's easy to do, I end up with patches missing usually. Oh well, let's have a look. Actually, it's not come out too bad. It's not as bright as I'd have liked. I wonder if I can go over it one more time. With these clear ones, you've got a chance of lining it up at least. I might just ink it up a little bit more, especially around the body of the deer. I want him to stand out, or her. It's probably her, she's got no antlers. Just ink her up a bit more, see if I can line it up again. This is a bit of an experiment. Let's see if we can, because you can, the idea of these clear ones, you're supposed to be able to line them up, aren't you? So it looks about right. Let's see if I've got a better impression this time. I didn't re-ink the bits around the edge because I thought it'd be nice if the middle sort of stood out a bit, so it doesn't matter if that fades a little bit into the background. Perhaps I should be doing it on a, I'm sure I've been told, one of you lovely ladies, I'm sure, suggested I did it on a foam block, so maybe I'll do the next one on foam. Give me a bit of give. That's probably what I should be doing. So maybe I'll do the next one like that. Oh, that's better. That has come out better. Can you see it? So that's rather nice. Okay, so that's that one. Let's try it with a foam block, see which one works out best. It's all full of holes and where I punched through things. Just going to wipe give it a quick wipe. Probably doesn't need it because it's archival, so it's not going to come off anyway. Right, so let's try. What should we do? Should we do the robin on a style this time? Now I have got the back of this somewhere and I don't know what I did with it. Peeled it off and then I'm going to have to leave it on there. Right. Let's take this one out. Try and keep the backing somewhere. They disappear when you peel off the back and then you put it down and you forget what you've done with it. I'm sure it'll turn up, the back for the other one. Right, which way up does it go? No, it's that way up. Okay, should we do that in red as it's got a robin on it? And Rachel, when she was doing hers, she did. The look of the red on the coffee dye looks really good, even if it is a snow scene. Bit of artistic license is permitted, I think. Whoop. Right, let's see if that's come out. I need another piece of, what do I do with paper? Sorry, my journal cards, index cards, whatever you call them. Right, got that one there. Let's see how it turns out. So this is a different type of ink. This is the distress ink, so I don't know how well distress inks stamp. I don't generally use them for stamping, but they're quite juicy because they're new. So I'm hoping they'll come out all right. I've got a couple of spare index cards just in case one of these turns out to be a disaster. Don't think the I could have used my other ink actually, the other red ink. It's come out okay. It's not as sharp, with the Distress ink, that's for sure. It just tends to be a little blurrier, but you can see it has come out okay, so I think that'll be alright. But I don't think I'll use this ink for any more, just because I don't think it's not ideal for stamping. I'm not sure it's meant for that really. The other inks are better. Right, so okay, let's try one more. So I think my third one is called Build a Snowman. So we'll do that, and I think doing it on the foam pad seems to work. So I'm going to continue with that. We do come back and do a bit of decorating on these with some washi tapes and bits and pieces, possibly. Not sure what yet, but I've got the washies at the ready. Right, let's build a snowman. Another card, and I think this one, maybe I'll do this one in black. I do quite like the blue though. Let's have another look. I think I'll do the blue again because I like the blue for the winter scene. I must have used this the most. It looks quite stained with black, this one, and it's got bits of glitter on it. Not sure why, how that happened. So how does glitter get everywhere? It seems to. I've even got glitter on my vintage photo pad. I don't know how that got there. I haven't even used loose glitter. I've only been using like stickles and glitter paste sort of thing, but I haven't used any loose glitter, and still it manages to get on everything. Right, let's see if this one goes. I'm just wondering, no, I'll stick it in the middle. I think the deer one is the biggest, seems to be the biggest one. This one isn't as big again. I should have used this on the... I've got a couple of smaller cards where they didn't quite fit on my coffee dye paper, so I had to cut them down a little bit. I think this is one of the bigger ones. I should have used a smaller one, I think, for this, because it's a smaller image. But I didn't think about that. Let's see. Oh. Right, let's have a look. Yeah, it's all right, but I think it needs a bit going over again. Again, I'm just going to concentrate on the bit in the middle, particularly on the snowman. I'm getting overconfident now, but because it worked the first time I tried to go over it again, I'm going to have another go at it, and I'll probably mess it up this time. Just got to be careful where I lay it. Trying to line it up so I can't see any sign of the original image, which means hopefully I've covered it. Okay. It's not as sharp as the first time, of course. It's not too bad. I don't know if you can see the snowman there, a little boy building it, but it is a little bit, I think I just went a smidge off the side, so it's not completely sharp, but it's okay. It's okay. You can see what it is. Right, so that's those ones. And I've got one more journal card. I think I'm going to be doing it that way because what I would like to do, now I've got this big sheet, I think this was in a magazine a while ago, big sheet of stamps, and I want to use the Christmas tree. And it also has got this bit underneath that says "Oh Christmas Tree," so I think I'd like to use that as well. Right, oh no, I don't need that, do I? Pop that over there. Okay, so I think Christmas tree there, and then "Oh Christmas Tree." Hang on. "Oh Christmas Tree" there. So let's take this one off. Don't know if this is the one that it came on. Was that for the other one? That might be the one for the deer that I couldn't find. Sorry, let me just put my bits back together. This over here. Right, well, it has to be green, doesn't it? I think I'll do the "Oh Christmas Tree" in black. And now, where are they? I've got, put that on there. Put the other way around. And I'm going to have to risk using the green Distress ink because I haven't got a green archival. It'll be a purchase for the future. So I'm just going to put that on there. Don't think I've opened this. It's stiff. Okay. Yep. Okay, I think I've got enough ink on this time. I've probably overdone it. Okay. Right. Yep, apart from a bit of a blob here. What I might do is add some little bits of touches of glitter afterwards, I think. You know, a little bit of glitter blue. And then that will disguise that blob. And the "Oh Christmas Tree" I think I'll do in black. Okay, that's lovely. Right, let's just pop that back on the sheet. Okay. Right, so that's that one. I mean, I'm going to come back and do some more decoration on these. This is just getting the stamping down. So what's next? So I've got my big tags, bigger tags, they're not huge. Managed to get a bit of red on the edge of there, that's annoying. Never mind, I don't think it really matters. Right, what have I got to go on here? Got a few options. So I'll just see what's going to fit. That's too wide. That's a bit on the big side as well. Ooh, what about the bells? I think the bells might work. I've got a smaller one. I think I have. They fit? No, it's not. It's not quite big enough, so I use this one. What colour for the bells? I'm going to do red, but I'm going to use my other red pad. My Memento, I think it will be a bit sharper with the Memento than with the Distress ink. No, maybe I should bring the pad to the stamp rather than the other way around when it's bigger. Not sure I've ever used this one. I haven't used a lot of my Christmas stamps because it's not something I kind of figured out how to use. This is such a brilliant idea. It's so simple. I've just never thought of doing this. Sometimes the simplest ideas are the best. Okay, hoping that that's enough. Okay, fingers crossed. Yes. Well, yeah, that came out nice. Lovely. Tempted to do another bell one. Let's have a look, see what else there is that will fit on my tag. Only got 2 larger tags. I've got lots of things that will fit on the small tags. I just don't want them to be a bit lost on this tag. So I've got this that says Jingle All the Way. It's a bit small though. They either seem to be too big or not quite big enough. So I could do something like the bow and then something underneath. From our home to yours. So that will fit on the small tag quite nicely. But have yourself a moment. So it doesn't fit. Don't think, have I got any others? I think this is all I've got in the way of Christmas. No, not that one. I think I put the bow and then I'll put something underneath the bow, I think. Let's try that. What coloured bow should we have? I have a blue bow. Okay. Right. Make sure I pressed it down nicely. Okay. We have a blue bow. Let's get some of that ink off. Now, what can I put under my bow? will jingle all the way. What about it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas? Yeah, that would go alright on there. Big enough? Just about. So I could put that underneath. And then perhaps have a little something at the bottom. It's going to be a multi-stamper. Black. Or I might just have a nice piece of washi or something across the bottom there to finish it off. Because actually a bow kind of looks like Christmas, but it's not always associated with, well, I suppose it is, associated with gift giving more than Christmas, just Christmas. Oh, I know I could put across the bottom. Okay, yeah, I like that. Now I've got this new little stamp that I just bought from Hobbycraft, a little row of Christmas trees, and that could just go across the bottom, and then it really would look a lot like Christmas, wouldn't it? I'm going to do them in red. No, that's blue. This must be the red one. And they just fit on there nicely. Sorry about the banging. Try and lift it up and do it. There we go. I know traditionally they should be green, but I'm going to make them red. Make them look Christmassy as well. Okay, little row of trees. Love it. Okay, so that's that one. Now I've just got to do my two little ones. Only I've got so many things I want to put on these, I'll probably end up doing more. But I think for the purpose of the video, I'm just going to do two. So, I'm going to do one. So I've got this really nice reindeer, or leaping deer, I suppose you'd call him. And he'd be fine on his own, but I'm going to do something else with it. Black. Is that black? Yep. I'm going to do him in black. So I haven't... The idea I've got, I haven't tried it, so it might be a disaster. But luckily I have some other tags in the wings, should I make a mess of it, as I mentioned before. So I'm just going to put him in the middle. Just hope he comes out okay. Ish. Thing is, with doing it with black, if it's not completely filled in, I can always get a black pen and finish him off. Then, where's my... I've got another stamp here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cover him over like that. Make sure he's properly covered. Then I've got this stamp, which I also bought from Hobbycraft this week, or last week. No, this week I think it was. Anyway, that's irrelevant. And I'm going to stamp that all over in green, I think, as you would. It's holly. And hopefully it'll go all around my reindeer and make a nice pattern around him. Make sure the circle doesn't move. The big challenge, hold that in place. I may have to re-ink, which I don't really want to do it on this because I don't want to get ink all over my I'll do it on here instead. Don't really want to get ink on the foam pad, do I? So I'll try that. Let's do a bit of re-inking. Let's do it not on the desk, because that just makes a horrible noise, doesn't it, when you're banging away on the desk. Sometimes I can't avoid it, but this one I can pick up. So, that side. That side. Let's see. How's that come out? I could maybe draw around my circle just to give it a proper edge. Am I going to ruin it by doing that? I hope not. Just looks a bit undefined, doesn't it, that circle around him. Still try and do it really carefully. Right. Right. No, it's not too bad. Yeah, that'll do. That'll be alright. So that's one. And then last one. And I've got to do a little bit of decorating on them, haven't I? And then I've got several small ones on this sheet. So I'm going to do this one. And this one. Where's my... there it is. That's going to go on there, and then it's going to be crossed over with the postmarky thing. It's like a little postmark. Okay, so I'm going to go red. Which one's the red? That's the black. I think this is the red. Okay. Red there. Love it. Merry Christmas from the North Pole. And then do the little postmarky lines in black. Bottom there, off there. Okay. Right, so that's that one done. Okay, so now we need to add some little extra touches to some of these. I have no idea how Rachel did so many so fast. I can never do anything as fast as she does. But we will see what we can do. Some of them don't really look like they need much or anything. Like this one, I'm not sure it needs much at all. might need a slight trim here, and it needs a topper. It needs a bit of ribbon, or a bit of the old, what do you call it, baker's twine. No, not those scissors, they're not going to cut it. At least they won't cut it cleanly. That just finishes it off, I think, just having that little bit of red at the top. I really don't think it needs much else, because it's sort of multi-layers on the stamping. So I think that one will be fine as it is. I might go put a little ink around it, or I might even go around it with a bit of gold, I don't know. But I think that one's fine. So I'm not going to do anything else to that. This one, on the other hand, does need something. Needs something across the bottom, maybe. So I've got my little box of washi tapes. Too many to choose from. Put that back before I start cutting washi tape with it. I'm going to put a bit of glue on it. They feel quite sticky, but I'm not going to take any chances. I just fold it around. And I think I put a bit of green at the top of this one. I think it needs a little something at the top as well. Feeling a little bit of, possibly of the gold Florentine paper, and I've got some gold in the pack that I got from Rachel. So let's try a bit of that. One of these days I'll remember to turn that on silent when I'm filming. I haven't remembered yet. It's got to be on that side, hasn't it? So I need to do it. A little bit of, just soften that edge. Too big. I only need a little bit. Right. No, that doesn't work because it's not on the straight and narrow there. So I think I'll just trim it. At least I'll trim a bit of it. All right. It's going to need something around the edge, but I may well sew around these. I think they could do, some of these look a bit like they could do a bit of sewing around, so I might do that afterwards. All right, let's just pop that on just in case. Right, let's have a look at these two little ones. That one definitely doesn't need anything except a topper, and it's going to get the red one. It's got a knot in it, so I'll go the other end. No, let's put that one through, it's easier to feed through the hole. The other end, they're all kind of splitting a bit, not so easy to feed through. Oh, I have cut it a little bit on the short side, but this is only a small tag, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. There we are, that's about right anyway. By the time it's come through, it's long enough. Right, so that's that one. And this one needs a little something. What am I going to use? I have got some reindeer here, but I don't know if they'll have some reindeer just going across the bottom there. I can't fit Santa on as well, but I can do the reindeer going across the bottom. Just have to trim it off a bit that side. Nope, a bit too high. Right. Reindeer across the bottom. Could do with something a little bit of splash of colour at the top there, couldn't we? I'm going to do a little bit of this. Or a very narrow piece. I actually want something across the bottom there. I need my other scissors. These are, where are my other scissors? Oh, yeah. These are better for just a narrow piece. And I want that on the bottom. Across there. No. I just feel it was a bit too white. Even that was a little bit too wide, so I'm just going to trim it down there. Right. And a tiny little bit up the top here. Right. Yeah. Works for me. And I'm going to have to use a bit of green. Go through the hole. There we are. Okay. I'm loving these. I didn't know if whether I'd like this, whether they'd look too simple or too plain. But I'm actually really liking these tags. Really fun. Like most of Rachel's challenges, you feel like you could just keep going with this all afternoon. But I must stop. I will stop when I've done them. I think the tags in particular are working out really well. Loving those. Okay, let's have a look at the Christmas tree. Right, the first thing I want to do is round my corners. In fact, I have this new corner punch. This one, another Hobbycraft purchase. So I thought maybe I will put that in. Punches out, rounds the corner and gives you holly leaves. Maybe I'll just do it on the top one. Like that. Hadn't even planned on going to Hobbycraft. I think we went over to the retail park to look for vacuum cleaners. But the shop that sells vacuum cleaners happened to be next door to Hobbycraft, and well, rude not to really, wasn't it? So Richard went off and had a wander. I said, "You want to go in Hobbycraft? Off you go on then." I'll just wander around and see, wait for you. Which is very good of him, because he hates shopping. But it happened to be sunny, so he was able to have a little wander around. And he let me go and have my little forage in Hobbycraft. I said, "Oh, I won't get much." Famous last words. Oh well. Right. Okay, so now this needs a bit of colour. What's the best option? I have got the ones I made, but I'm not overly thrilled with them. Probably ought to try and use them though. But these ones are so pretty. I thought perhaps I'll just pop a little bit of this down the side. Yeah, about there. And then, what else have I got? That just tore, so I might as well just use it as it is. The way up, or the way up. So a bit across there, something across the bottom. No. No, I don't want another word, do I? A little Christmas tree one. That's quite nice. Get them back in the box and then I'll see what I've got. The ones with the white backing don't show up all that well on the coffee dye, which is a bit of a shame. I have to stick to the more colourful ones, I think. Okay. Still looks a little bare. Oh, it needs a topper of some sort, doesn't it? I think, let's have a look. If I make a topper out of that, I'm going to have to do I'll have to do one of my faux whale tails. Oops. Didn't quite punch through. I don't think I pushed it down quite hard enough. But it won't matter. So we just fold it in half. I do apologise. Family arrangements. It's Friday and the weekend's coming up, so things are being discussed as to what we're doing. I'm trying to remember how I did these. Yeah, I need my little punch. I need this one. I haven't made any of these for a while. I'm trying to remember what I did. Yep, so it goes halfway, goes into the middle, that side, turn it over, goes into the middle, that side, that's it. Now my oldest daughter, they're having an extension built. They've been planning it all year. They've been waiting and waiting to get it all finalised. Oop, sorry, and finally it's about to start. I think work starts on Monday, and they've been having a bit of a clear out. So I think my husband's arranging to go over and help take some stuff away for them this evening. So I've got quite a lot of work to do. They did a lot of clearing out last weekend, and we actually went over and took Alyssa out for a few hours. Took her down into town, and we went to a little play cafe and went into the bookshop. They've got a children's bookshop, which is really lovely. And it's quite a little walk into town. She's such a good little walker, considering she's got very small legs. She's such a tiny, tiny child, but she walks everywhere. Absolutely refuses to go in the pushchair. So we walked down. It's down a hill, the town, so it's up a hill to come back home. And so we walked down, and she played in the play cafe. She's very, very shy, so she won't play with other children. And then we took her in the bookshop, and she just kept bringing me books to read to her. So we just read books for about half an hour. It was lovely. And then we thought it was getting dark, so we decided to go home. And we got almost to the top of the hill, back to her house. And then if she wants to be picked up, she just says, "I need a big hug." Bless her. So Grandad picked her up, and she immediately just completely zonked on his shoulder. She just fell fast asleep. I mean, fast asleep. And was completely dead weight, and he had to carry her the rest of the way home. I don't know how he managed it. I really don't. Because it was not easy. Right, there's my little topper. So it almost looks like a whale tail. It's very similar. But I mean, I got this idea from Rachel herself before she got her own whale tail punch. So it's all down to her. I think she got it from somebody else, I'm not sure. But that's the way I do them now. So that's that card. So I think I'm not going to have time to finish them all. Unless I'm very, very quick. Because otherwise we could end up with another very long video. That's nothing new, is it? Let's just quickly do my corners. I'm not going to do the fancy punch on all of them, I don't think. Might do it on another one. Particularly goes well with the Christmas tree one. Let's see if I can find some nice paper to go on here. I don't think it's that one. I like this one actually. A little bit there. No, I want a bit of red. A bit of this one. Oh, I've got that little thin piece, haven't I? Maybe that will do. Okay, let's put this little bit on. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing here. I'm following what Rachel did, and sometimes it doesn't completely come naturally to me to do these little strips of paper, but I'm just trying to, but I always like how she does it, so I'm kind of following her lead somewhat on this. And use up that little piece of narrow. Paper that I've got there. I'm actually wondering whether I need a few more. I've got these another little purchase from, I don't know, the Works, I think. Little pig stamps, and I've got a snowman, and I've got some snowflakes. So maybe I can add a little bit more stamping rather than doing. Now, which colour do I need? I need my phone to stop making lots of noises. I really must put it on silent in future. I'm so sorry. It's a bit annoying, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to have some little. I actually took these little peg stamps over to my daughter's when we went to look after Alyssa, because she's definitely got this idea about crafting with Nana, which I absolutely love. Is that crafting, Nana? Oops, it's upside down. Yeah, I'm going to have to do them a bit all over the place now because I did that one upside down, so I'll have to do one. That's the right. So the picture's that way, but the actual stamp is the other way up. So that's it. That's interesting. The picture is not the same way as the stamp. That's weird. Put that there. See how that turns out. Oh, well, that's all right. If I put the stamp so it looks upside down, it's the right way up. Okay. These aren't great, but they're a bit of fun. Okay, so I've got some snowmen bubbling about. Now I want to use, I had meant to use the blue, but that was black, so now I can use the blue for the snowflakes. Perhaps it doesn't really matter which way around they are, does it? Yeah, so she definitely did a bit of stamping with these, which I quite enjoyed it. I bought her a little stamp set for Christmas, a child's one. Okay. And now I think I'm going to add a little bit of this washi here, which is red with snowflakes on, so that might kind of work. Probably have to cover up one of my snowflakes now. Side here. Okay. It's not my favourite, but it'll do. I don't know whether I'll use it. I may do. So that's those two done. And we've gone past the hour, and I've still got two more to do. So what I think I'll do is I'll finish here. I have plans to make another video this afternoon, another Christmas video. So what I'll do is I'll keep these and I'll decorate them in my next Christmas video that I make. It may not be the next one you see, but I will do these in another video because I want to finish these off. I really like these two. And then it'll give me a chance to think about how I actually want to do it. So I will hang on to those two and finish them at a later date, but on camera, if that's all right with you. And we'll just have a quick look. Let's move these little cute little stamps. I like those little stamps. But I think I've got to learn how to use them so that I don't end up with I'm facing the wrong way. And let's get rid of some of these little tiny bits, and then we'll just have a quick look at what I've made, and we'll say goodbye. It's been loads of fun. I do love doing Rachel's challenges. I'll be very sad when she finishes. I'll probably say this before. I shall probably say it again. Because it does make you use things that you weren't expecting. Or haven't used very much. And then you think, oh, that's so fun to do. So I've got these two journal cards that I managed to finish. Oops, upside down. So that one and that one. And these two that are still to be finished. I love this one. I was so happy with that turned out, especially as I had to go over it twice. I really like that, so I don't want to mess it up. And actually there's not a lot it needs because it's a big stamp, so it takes up most of the journal card. And then we've got the robin on the style. That's quite a nice one too. So those will be finished another time. And then I've got my tags, and I'm really happy with these too. So I've got, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, Jingle Bells, Leaping Stag, and Merry Christmas from the North Pole. Yeah, I love these actually. I'm gonna make some more of these. I particularly love the little ones. I'm really pleased how they turned out. So there we are. That's my Roxy's Weekly Challenge fun stamped tags, and it has been lots of fun. Thank you for joining me. Bye for now.